It's now 4 o'clock or 1600 hours. The meeting of the Atlantic County Board of Commissioners is called to order. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting of the Atlantic County Board of Commissioners was provided in the following manner. Posted on the Atlantic County website, published in the press of Atlantic City, and mailed to the Hamilton Gazette, and has been posted on the bulletin boards in the county office building in Atlantic City, the Stillwater building in Northfield, and the county clerk's office in Mays Landing. This time, we'll have our prayer.
Dear Lord, help us to work together in a spirit of respect, cooperation, and purpose, keeping the well-being of all we serve at the forefront. Strengthen us with integrity, humility, and compassion so that our actions reflect peace and the common good. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Chairman Commissioner Bertino and Commissioner Ruffio are attending virtually today. Commissioner Days will be a few moments late.
Okay.
Bertino,
Here.
Burns,
Here.
Days, D. Days,
Here.
Kern,
Here.
Parker,
Here.
Ruffio,
Here.
Anchor,
Here.
Risley.
Here. First order of business is to review the minutes and approve them from the June 2nd meeting. So I will entertain a motion to adopt those meetings as presented.
Moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on the minutes? Any corrections, deletions, etc.? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Bertino,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Ruffio,
Yes.
Anchor,
Abstain.
Risley.
Yes. In accordance with the recently adopted ordinance updating the bylaws of the Board of Commissioners, there will be an early public comment period regarding agenda items, only excluding items listed for a public hearing, and an additional public comment period at the end of the meeting that will allow for public participation. If you would like the opportunity to address the board regarding any resolution listed on today's agenda prior to the board's discussion, said resolution, or the board of voting upon an agenda item, please do so early public comment period. Anyone attending in person who would like to speak regarding an agenda item or at public comment, please come to the podium. Speak into the microphone. State your name and the town in which you reside. You will be provided up to 3 minutes to speak during each public comment period. If you are attending virtually and would like to speak, please raise your hand during the agenda item or at a public comment at the end. I will call upon your name and a request to unmute will be sent. Please state your name and the town you reside in. You will be provided up to three minutes to speak. At this time, is there anyone here in the public or online that would like to speak the public portion about any topic on today's agenda? If not, I'll entertain a motion to close the public portion.
Moved.
Yeah, but I'm going to bring them up separately. Yeah.
Second.
Second. Any discussion on closing the public comment? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. We also have, as a little presentation today, some folks from Rutgers. And at this time, would you please come forward? And thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us. And we apologize for the short notice. We would like to be here more often, but you'll see from our presentation, we've been pretty busy. So we'd like to give you a little report on what we've been up to. So my name is Dana Ramage. If I didn't get the pleasure of meeting you in the fall, I'm the program associate with Atlantic County 4-H, which is part of Rutgers Cooperative Extension of Atlantic County. I'd like to tell you all a little bit about what we've been doing the past few months since we've been here. I think it was September last year. And like I said, we had all intentions of coming out a few times between then and now. But what we've been up to, and I do have a handout. If any of you would like to have it at the end, I can hand it out to everybody.
Certainly.
We've been doing lots of outreach. One of the things that I've been doing is workshops for homeschoolers. We started off in the fall of last year. We did the topic Wonderful World of Bugs, which was a big hit. And we did a continuation of that workshop in the spring of 2026. We added on to that a separate workshop series on plant science, which the kids really loved. We've been doing after-school programs, which Kendron does quite a few as well. I branched out into the Buna area, so I've been going to Cleary Middle School, and I brought some of the similar topics. We're hoping to continue that collaboration into the fall of this year, maybe calling them the Boost Junior Scientists. So we've been bringing more of our programs to different areas of the county. Kendron did a really amazing Model UN that was a statewide program. So he worked with folks across the state. We had 23 junior high participants and 10 high school participants that participated virtually starting in November. And then that program culminated with a big on-campus program where they all got together and worked in teams to present their different topics in the Model UN. And it was nice because the high schoolers were sort of coaching and being role models for the junior high members. We had at the county level, we had our awards night in January. That was amazing. We had our ambassador team presenting everybody with their awards. We saw Commissioner Risley there, which was amazing to see you there. We did a public presentation workshop and officer training. So you may know that 4-H, we really push public speaking. We really like that our members can leave with that skill, at least, and many other skills that they acquire along the way, but we really like them to feel comfortable in the public speaking realm. So we did the public presentations workshop, and we also did a club officer training. So that's all of our traditional clubs have officer boards. So they elect their own presidents, vice presidents, secretary, treasurers, and they have to run for those positions. And then they have different roles and responsibilities within those roles. We also offered a leaders workshop. It seemed to be pretty well attended compared to past years. So we have a lot of new club leaders, which I'll touch on towards the end of our presentation. So we had people in the room that were 50-year volunteers who have been doing this for decades, and we had people that it was their first year volunteering. So it was a really great opportunity for them to all talk and learn from each other. And we had 3 or 4 different presentations that evening as well. We continued, I had already mentioned, we continued the spring homeschooler workshops. Then we launched into February and March. We did our public presentations contest. So all of our kids that went to the public presentation workshop, and in fact, all of our junior and senior members, to be in good standing, are required to do a public presentation at the county level. So we offered a video submission option where some of our kids, if they were unable to make the dates, they were able to submit a video, which was nice because they offered that at the state level as well. So we had over 50 entries in our video submissions, and we had over 30 members present in person at our 2 public presentation dates, which was a vast amount more than we've had in past years. And in fact, we had 12 of our seniors actually got qualifying scores to move on to the state level competition. And out of those 12, 6 of them actually took us up on the offer and gave a try at the state level. So we know they represented us well there. We did several other clinics. I'll start to wrap that part up because I'll let you guys review all this too. We did a model horse clinic. We did a hog showmanship clinic. This year at fair, we're going to have our hogs on display, and the kids will be showing off all the skills that they've learned. And there is going to be an auction for 2 of the hogs. So if you're in the market for some pork, come on out. And just a couple little highlights from 24 to 25 to the current project year 25 to 26. We've grown our member enrollment by over 33% from last year to this year. Our volunteer enrollment has grown almost 50%. We have 4 new clubs. 3 of them are horse clubs, and we have a new hiking club. We have 2 clubs that are looking to start after the fair this year. We have several camps. I'm going to let Kendron tell you a little bit more about his camps that he's running over the summer. We have our big highlight of the year is fair. I hope to see many of you there. August 7th and 8th this year. We're celebrating America's 250th. And as every year, our members compete and they enter the yearbook cover design contest. So our winner this year made a big birthday cake. It's all red, white, and blue. So that will be the highlight and the theme for this year. And with that, I'm going to wrap up my portion because I'd love you to hear more from our youth ambassadors today. We have with us Joel, Brooklyn, Cheyenne, and Chloe. I asked them to speak a little bit on different topics, giving you some of their personal anecdotes. So we kind of went with a past, present, and future theme. So you'll see that carried through as they tell you some of their personal stories. And thank you again for your time.
Hello. Okay. Hi, my name is Joel Sharp. I'm talking about the past, a couple of 4-H experience that I've done. So a couple of 4-H experience that I've done that have been like really impactful or I've taken a lot out of was my first one was a shark program that I did where I had to do a couple of interviews, a lot of Zooms, a lot of driving out to North Jersey to go meet people just so they can get to know me. But after I did that, I got to go to Miami, Florida to go tag sharks, do a lot of research on them. So we did tagging, we did fin clipping, we did parasite checks. We checked them for parasites. And another program I did was I went to Atlanta, Georgia to go to a National 4-H Congress. And what that was me and 1,000 other kids from 4-H. So I met kids from like Alaska, Hawaii, Texas, all over the country. I think there was 43 states there. And that was pretty impactful because I got to meet a whole bunch of other people. I got to see what the difference is in 4-H. Like there was kids who didn't even know what livestock club was. They didn't know what they didn't show horses at their 4-H club. They didn't do all sorts of different agriculture programs. What I'd like to carry forward based on these experiences is that 4-H isn't just public speaking and it's not just a whole bunch of different clubs. Is that there's a lot of different programs you can do. Because I know when I was younger, I always thought 4-H was just, it's just public speaking. I get to go show my chicken every year. I get to go do this boring stuff. But then as soon as I got into like my 15s, 16s, I was like, damn, there's some cool stuff I can do. And that's what I want some other younger kids to know is that when you're younger, there's not that much you can do because you can't really go out. And when you're 10, you don't want to throw your kid in Atlanta, Georgia. That's pretty scary. But when they get older, there's a lot more cooler experiences, and it's definitely worth the wait because I've had some very, very cool opportunities.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
Hello, my name is Brooklyn Village. I'm from Atlantic County, just like them. I'm the current ambassador along with Joel, who just spoke. So in the present, something I have to say is within my club, I am the secretary of the Rabbit Club, the Whistles, Whiskers, and Wabbits Club. And I am the vice president of my livestock club. My main area of interest is poultry. I really like to show poultry. I breed poultry. Salmon Favorals is like, they're my breed. I really like them. And I'm the president of the youth council and as well as one of the main ambassadors for Atlanta County. As an ambassador, I help manage for the fair and I recruit members to 4-H. I have done a variety of different interviews and speakings like this, and I helped recruit people into 4-H. It's really, it's as Jill said, it's really like very helpful for youth to learn more about like life beyond high school, beyond middle school, beyond wherever, and like they learn to be themselves and they learn a lot about kind of niche topics that like they probably wouldn't know in school or anywhere else. Like I wouldn't know how to breed standard poultry outside of 4-H. It doesn't make any sense, you know? So you know, it's really, I'm really like passionate about this, you know? So, and I'll carry this forward with me. So acquired traits such as leadership, public presentation, and all my knowledge on poultry, I'll carry on with me throughout the rest of my life. So when I first started 4-H, I really wasn't comfortable talking in front of people. I was kind of shy, really. I didn't know much about a whole lot about other than just school, middle school when I started. It was kind of my life was a little limited. So, I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing in my present. And also I'm preparing for fair right now. So there'll be another ambassador that replaces me and Joel this year in fair. So I have to kind of prep them and make sure that they know how to take the next steps forward. And that's really my present moment. I also have poultry shows coming up in the summer and I can't wait to do them. I really like poultry shows. And I also have leadership things like I have the state teen conference that I hope to attend. And so, yeah, it's pretty much what I'm doing in the present with 4-H. And I really encourage you guys to look into it if you have anybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Cheyenne Bilge. I'm her sister. I'm going to talk a little bit about future plans, I guess, for 4-H. I can tell you a little bit about my personal future plans. I would like to attend college, probably Rutgers, because it's a good school. A little bit about my present moment, I guess, background in 4-H. I'm an ambassador as well. Just on the team. I won a couple years ago. I'm president of Livestock and Poultry Club. I'm vice president of the Whiskers, Whiskles, and Wabbits Club, and I'm also secretary of Youth Council. And yeah, I'm also on the state teen council board for New Jersey. I participate in 3 major project areas. I participate mostly in poultry because I also breed chickens. I do KV and also leadership with Youth Council. And in the near future, I have a couple goals I would like to kind of attain with these main project areas. I'm going to Kentucky this year again for nationals. I went last year for Avian Bowl. We placed 3rd, my sister and I. And then this year we're going for poultry judging. So I'm learning about more about judging because I mostly breed, but I haven't really done much in judging. So I hope to attain a lot of things there. I'm going to Texas to learn about it this year. And I feel like 4-H has really helped me kind of expand on my opportunities with that. I'll touch a little bit about that later. I'm also going to, it's kind of also expanded my kind of realm, I guess, because I started out in just regular poultry shows for 4-H sanctioned shows. And then I learned more about kind of like the next step forward. I now attend nationals in Ohio every year. My sister and I, we placed in showmanship last year, which was quite fun. And overall, I just kind of allowed 4-H to allow me to graduate, I guess, from like certain areas. I'm like at a higher advanced level than I ever kind of dreamed I would ever be. And a couple of my future plans, I guess, that I feel like 4-H has also benefited me. It kind of like gives you like the opportunity to do things instead of just like telling you that it's there. Like it gives you the opportunity to grow, I feel like. And a lot of people don't really understand that. It's not just like a club that you go, you learn, you listen to someone talk to you at you about something. And then you're just like, okay, go find something you have to do. 4-H has literally given me the opportunity to expand upon my horizons. And I feel like that's something that's really important. Like, you want to get better at public presentations? Okay, we're going to give you state and county level presentations so you can practice it. If you want to go do show poultry, we'll give you 4-H sanctioned poultry shows you can learn, and then you can go to Ohio every year for APA nationals. Or if you want to go to, I don't know, learn about some specific project area. Like, I know every project area has their own sort of meetings and stuff. They'll go, okay, will give you an opportunity to learn. And I feel like that's very helpful for pursuing people's like futures, which is really important. I feel like for youth to be able to learn about, and I feel like 4-H does a really good job at doing that.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chloe Cantona. I'm going to give you a little summary of what my fellow ambassadors had just talked about. When we look at the past, it's easy to see that 4-H is a long-standing tradition of strengthening youth and communities, and it's been serving the nation for over 100 years. Specifically, I want to talk about our baton leader, Miss Joni. She is a huge asset to the 4-H, and she manages so many other things besides baton. And she's just come up on her 50th year of being involved in our 4-H, and we celebrated her at our past awards ceremony. And she is repeatedly expressing how much 4-H means to her, how much it shaped her into the person she is today, and how much it's impacted her in the way she wants to impact kids like us and future kids like us who are going to be taking our positions and everything. She's a 4-H Twirly Bird alumni, so she's been twirling with us for a long, long time, since she was probably younger than myself, maybe like 8 or 9 years old, so a long, long time. Today, some of our 4-H programs look a little different as project areas expand and continue to evolve to address emerging issues such as technology and environment stewardship, but along the way, we are currently provides opportunities in leadership, public speaking, STEM, agriculture, community, and service. One of the programs I'm currently involved in is the ROV habitat restoration. It's through Rutgers. It's a super cool thing we've just started. We're just going to be working on it throughout the summer and throughout the year. We operate an ROV, and we're going to hopefully soon take it out to look at the floors of the sea and give feedback to scientists to help with habitat restoration and different ways we can fix problems that are on the bed floor. And we're hoping to keep continuing that throughout the summer. What hasn't changed is the fact that today's members and tomorrow's workforce are tomorrow's workforces, volunteers, and elected officials. Supporting 4-H is an investment in the county, in the country's future success. And your guys' continued support ensures future generations have access to public positive youth development opportunities and build strong communities. My hope for 4-H in the future is that we can continue to bring more people into the community, because 4-H is a prime foundation for such growth in a person's life and such impact and personality, and everything that makes me is from 4-H. I wouldn't be the same person I am without 4-H. So I'd hope to get more people involved, help our youth become the great people that we're going to need for our future, so we can continue to serve in so many different ways. Thank you all for your ongoing support and dedication to the 4-H community. And thank you. And I'm going to get
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kendra Diet. I'm the county agent for 4-H. And first of all, I think they're being a little conservative with their glowing remarks. Chloe, the ROV is a underwater drone that she uses to go to study the habitat underwater. So she's been practicing, and Joel been practicing at pools and different things to learn. We're doing an amazing thing, and the twins are more amazing than they'll let them off. They'll say that they are. They also go to our camp up in Stokes. They do they're always involved, and that's the thing we want to talk about is Atlantic County. We not only shine in Atlantic County, we shine at the state, and we shine at the national level too. Our kids are. Our job here is make sure our kids get every resources that Rutgers have to offer. This summer, we have several camps. So I have a couple kids from Atlantic City area that's going to Rutgers for a week for a STEM ambassador camp. They learn they talk to professors, they learn different STEM pathways, they learn their STEM identity. And then they're supposed to train up there and come back and then teach when they come back here. They're supposed to, they give like 50 hours of volunteer service. So not only know that they're building their STEM identity, they're also learning about civic engagement and how important it is to give back to the community. We have some programs here this summer too. We have 2 STEM camps on the campgrounds, and I'll leave the flyer here for you guys. One is rocketry and aviation, and one is robotics and engineering. So those are back-to-back weeks. And then after that, we have another. There's going to be a speaking engagement in ACCC where we're talking about how we hire college students local from Stockton or ACC. And then a week after that, it's going to be fair. A week after that, we're going to do another camp in Atlantic City when it comes to Eat, Play, Live at the Family Center in Oceanside 1 and 2. And then after that, we're doing an ACUA environmental stewardship program. Then after that, we have our fishing program. So this whole summer, we have programs after programs after programs after programs to make sure our kids in Atlantic County get everything they deserve and need to be the best citizens they could possibly be. I came here to thank you guys for all your support. I want you to know your investment in us is well earned and well respected. We are working from Atlantic City to all the way to Buna. We're trying to touch every aspect of this county. We want to make sure that I don't know if, it's going to be hard, but we're going to make sure we're in every city or make sure that we have, every kid have access to us. So I just want to say thank you guys for your support. And we want to make sure that you know what we're doing and hopefully, I know some of you guys, kids, I think someone's kid came to our fishing program last year. Hopefully they applied again if they could. So we're going to bring more and more programs nationally. Actually, nationally, we had a program in Atlantic City at the Family Center where we strengthening families through STEM activities. So we believe that, science literacy is the wave of the future, workforce of the future. Let's also bring the parents in to help build those STEM habits, help build that STEM capacity. So not only can the kids get it, but the parents understand. They need to be science literate too. In this day and age, everyone needs to understand STEM. So we bring in the parents, and the program was so well accepted that we got a workshop in Detroit in one of our conferences. There's also, we not just focus on youth, we also focus on family strengthening. We have a fact sheet that's coming out now about engaging fathers. So we're constantly growing. We constantly try to improve youth development, and it couldn't be done without your help. So thank you, guys.
Thank you for being here today, and looking forward, of course, to the fair coming up. And I just wish that 4-H was not the best kept secret, in Atlantic County. If I had a magic wand, I'd like to have a boatload of money to promote the 4-H program, because there is so much opportunity there from hogs to robotics and everything in between. The vastness of the programs is quite shocking, and it's done with volunteer help, and that's the key. It's done out of a passion to provide these services to our kids here in Atlantic County. And like I say, I'm looking forward to the fair this year as always. Anyone else on the governing body like to speak? Not. I want to thank you all for coming, and we'll see you at the fair. All right. Thanks again. And you don't have to stay for the meeting. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice job.
Please. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Before we get into our resolutions to pass and so on and so forth, is there any member of the governing body that needs to pull out one for individual discussion, or everyone comfortable? Yes. Reels. 301 and 306. Okay. Okay. We'll consider them separately then. Okay. We have our grants up front here. Resolutions 293 through 296. I'll entertain a motion to combine and adopt those resolutions.
Move. Second.
Any discussion on those grants?
293,
Yes.
the question is, how will the $56,100 in homeless grants be allocated among service providers and programs?
I know it covers certain utility bills for people. I know that. There's a more extensive list. Steve, you want to comment on that?
Operations that Grant County has that deals with what you said, utility bills and pretty much homelessness and cooling centers in the winter. That's what the money predominantly for code blue cooling centers and utilities.
Okay.
297. That's part of
Yeah.
that, right? Did we get to that one yet? Or we
Not
on
yet. Now we're
296?
doing 293 to 296.
Gotcha.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Bertino,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Ruffio,
Yes.
Schenker,
Yes.
Risley.
Yes. Moving on with our professional service agreements. I'll entertain a motion to combine and adopt 297 and 298.
Move.
Second to that. Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
297.
Yes.
What inmate healthcare improvements are anticipated through the $700,000 medical provider?
Well, it's just to establish a pool of medical providers. Beyond that,
Atlantic Care and Champion, I believe it's Champion Physical Therapy.
Atlantic Care and
Identified.
what was the second one? I'm sorry.
I think it's Champion Physical Therapy. off the
Champion
top of my
Physical
head.
Therapy. Thank you.
okay. Any other discussion? All right. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Bertino,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Ruffio,
Yes.
Schenker,
Yes.
Risley.
Yes. Okay, moving on to competitive contracts. Since, let's, can we consider 299 and 300 together? Or I can do that too. How about we do that? That's a better idea, Maureen. All right. We will consider then 299 through 306 with the exception of 306 and 301. So it'd be 299, 300, 302, 303, 304, and 305. Chair will entertain a motion.
Move. Second.
Any discussion on those resolutions? Which, by the way, of course, at every meeting, the Budget Committee reviews all these items that has to do with money and recommends approval. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, call the roll, Madam Clerk.
Bertino,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Ruffio,
Yes.
Schenker,
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, now we'll go back to consideration of Resolution 301. Please read it by title.
Competitive contract with Jewish Family Services and Ideal Institute of Technology for the provision of the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act out-of-school youth program, amount not to exceed $1,120,000.
Move.
Chair,
Second.
thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Discussion on 301.
Yes, I have a discussion. Being on the Finance Committee, first of all, I want you to know I'm enthusiastically in support of this. But I want to put on record that when I first read it, I thought it was a collab between Jewish Family Services and Ideal. And found out that it wasn't, that they're peeling out a percentage of this to Jewish Family Services, which Ideal had this contract for. And so I asked the question, then why did Ideal underperform that you pull part of the contract out for them? And the answer that was given, because they wanted more diversity in the program, in this contract. And I think it sets, for me, a good precedent that we are concerned about diversity in the contracts that we're giving. And if you go back, attorneys, and listen to the program, or listen to the meeting, that we're saying that we are concerned about diversity and that our contracts and our vendors should represent the diversity of the county citizens that we represent. I just want you to know that if we're going to pull this contract out and say we want more diversity, when I know that Ideal is a minority-owned business. I know their staff is extremely diverse. And I've been to some of their graduations were extremely diverse. So I'm not questioning how JFS is going to bring more diversity. But I wanted a record that if we can pull a contract for the soul of not a company or vendor underperforming, but for the reason of diversity, then if it's good for one, then it ought to be good for all. And so I just want to put it on record that that's the reason that they are having two different vendors on a contract that one vendor had on before. And I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. But I just want to put on record that if that's the reason, then that's something that we ought to consider on all of our contracts.
Back to administration, was that the sole reason? Or?
Tell you the truth, there's three people, Fran can probably answer that better.
Well, we could go back to the record. That was the sole reason that was given.
Okay, yeah. That's what we heard yesterday. Right. But there's three people on the committees that identified that reviewed the competitive contract. There's three people. I trust what you, I was on the phone too.
And
so that's what. Fran, if you want to interject anything. Love to hear.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to what Commissioner Day said. The other issue which has come up recently in our governance requirements, and Commissioner Days, I did not get into this explanation with you, but the other requirement that we have in the competitive procurement process is to have documentation that it is truly a competitive process and that we have multiple responses. The recent comments from the Department of Labor in Trenton is that they want to see the diversity. They want to see multiple contracts to document the competitive process. That is coming from the Department of Labor. They don't want to see just one contract award. They want to see multiple contract awarded. So the diversity discussion was on the issue of having multiple contracts so that we could show from a procurement perspective under WIOA Title I law that we are competitively procuring those contracts and it's not a single award.
Well, on that note, I'd have to say that I agree completely with Commissioner Days. And if that is the case, then it sounds like the Department of Labor is speaking towards our procurement process and holistically, not just in this particular case. So if we're going to show it in this case, then it needs to show across the board in the rest of our contracts.
And if I can do that and I get those kind of responses, then I would agree with you. In some cases, if we only get one response, and in the last contract, we only had one response, that was from Ideal.
Yes.
In this go round for the 3-year procurement process, we did have multiple contracts. So we were able to make multiple awards.
Nice.
Well, on the competitive contract, we only see one on these in the resolutions today. So out of all the other resolutions, there were only one that had all the others had just one person who put a bid in.
I'm sorry, I'm not following. There were For the
Well, I'm saying,
procurement, there would,
there's only one resolution that has two people who've been awarded a portion of a
Yes.
contract. So I'm
Yes.
saying, so on the other ones, there was only one person that bid on these other resolutions.
those were contract, the others are the others are contract renewals. They are not competitive procurements. So they are a continuing award of a contract, a 3-year contract. Usually the 3-year contracts have a 1-year award with 2 1-year renewals. And that is the responsibility of the representation from the private sector of the Workforce Development Board to review those contracts from prior year to determine whether or not they would receive a continuation of that contract award.
Since we're talking, I'm sorry, were you?
No, I just want to know that we're going to hold you accountable then to make sure that if there are multiple contracts, multiple bids, that we'd like to see the diversity and see who those bidders are as relates, and that you've shown in awards that we're
I'm sorry, I'm having difficulty hearing what is being verbalized from, at least from the laptop that I have. So could you repeat that, please?
I just said if that's the case, then we'll be making sure that we hold you accountable to make sure that if you can award multiple vendors, a portion of a contract that represents real true diversity for Atlanta County, we want to make sure that you're held accountable for that.
And we appreciate that, Commissioner Days. The other thing is that this process goes through the contract director. So purchasing director, who is Paul McConover, does set up all of the processes relative to procurement. It goes through Bid Express, and then those responses come to selected members of the Workforce Development Board for review, approval, and scoring, as is stipulated to and required by regulation and statute from the Workforce Development Board and Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act.
Okay, I understand that.
Okay, any other discussion?
Mr. Chair, if I can, since we're kind of on the topic already, I know a few meetings a while back, we had some discussion about, we're going back a while, maybe over a year. We had some discussion about our contracts. I believe it was brought up by Commissioner Ballas at the time about when it goes to procurement, having some sort of, I don't know, some sort of, I know we couldn't say preference. I can't remember the right word, so excuse me, I'm using the wrong word. Given local contractors here in Atlanta County, try to look for local contractors first in some way, shape, or form.
We always do.
We haven't really heard back anything, so we could hear something from administration to update us on what that looks like, if that's taking place. Are we considering?
I'll leave it to you, I'm not even sure you're allowed to do that.
Well, it was a gray area. We know it for sure. That's why I said I'm not sure if I'm using the correct word by saying.
I mean, I know you can give, there's certain provisions that allow minority preferences, women preferences, but I don't think you're allowed to say Atlanta County is going to have preference regardless of cost and regardless of qualifications.
I don't think anybody's saying that.
Can we circle back and just to see what we're doing with that, and then, if we can't, then we'll know, and if we're doing something, then we'll know, just to be updated. Thank you.
Well, the bottom line on this program, as I understand it, it benefits kids that are 16 to 24, and a minimum of 80 will be served. So that's a good thing.
In each program,
Yeah.
yes.
That's a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
Okay. Any other discussion on Resolution 301? If not, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Bertino,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Ruffio,
Yes.
Schenker,
Yes.
Grizzly.
Yes. Madam Clerk, please read Resolution 306.
Renewal competitive contract with DB Grant Associates Incorporated for the provision of career services, amount not to exceed $1,113,003.
Have a motion to adopt 306?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion?
Yes.
Yes.
DB Grant Associates have been underperforming for years. And And that's been noted and stated. And I don't think the administration is satisfied with PB Associates. And yet we're granting them an extension of another year contract. I don't, if we looked at all the other competitive contracts outside of social services, it was roads and bridges. If they underperform, you wouldn't use them. But when it comes to social services, we wink and we continue to award vendors that are not performing. So I think that's something we really need to be concerned about, because these social services are roads and bridges to a better life for a lot of people. And to not make sure that we hold them to deliverables, I think that's poor judgment on our side. And so on 306, that's going to be a no vote for me.
The administration.
I'm not aware, I'm sorry, Commissioner, this is the first I've even heard of any kind of underperformance.
Okay, well, that we had, yesterday we had that discussion in our Budget and Finance Committee.
I thought you were family service.
No, you spoke about Jewish Family Services as well. And since you brought it up, because we were I asked the question, why would you give Jewish Family Services a portion of this when the last time they had a similar program, they underperformed?
Yeah, I remember that part. I don't remember that globe part.
Okay, that's why I'm glad that our Finance Committee meetings are taped. And you can go back and take a look at it.
I'm sorry, Commissioner, this is the first time, I don't remember hearing that yesterday about.
I don't recall
EV grant.
underperforming. I don't recall that.
I don't remember that. I'll look into it and get a good answer.
Just replay the tape. That's all.
Commissioner Days, I'm
Yes.
sorry, the one thing that we did talk about was sending you the performance report for the current fiscal year from July 1 to June 30th. And I do have that information, and we'll be sending that to you so you can see the data associated with performance for Grant Associates.
That's correct.
Since we're, I know.
So I will forward that information to you. I believe that would contradict to some degree the statement about underperformance. So
well, no, what's going to contradict it is what's on the recorded of the meeting.
Okay, that may be too.
Yeah, if you because that's what we said, that's what we asked for, and we had the discussion that the only reason, and it came from you, I think it was you, that the only reason that you wanted to extend this because you didn't have anyone else at this time, it would be better to have someone underperforming than not have anybody at all providing the service.
And that statement is correct. And I did say that there was a staffing turnover issue in the prior year. That was one of the things that we did have concerns about that had stabilized in the current year, and we were much more satisfied with that process. But I did also express concern about having to revoke a contract and the turmoil that would create in service delivery for the interim time that it would take to create a new procurement process and establish a new contract.
Yeah, but I think you have to weigh benefit and loss of having an underperformer in something as important as career development.
Agreed. And I will send you the data that is current for their performance.
Very good.
I have a question.
Sure.
Chairman. Can we all have that information before we vote on
Sure,
it?
sir. Certainly, of course.
Table this one.
Yeah. You want a motion to table this contract?
Second.
Discussion? There's no discussion on a motion to table.
Will this impact any of the grant funds?
It shouldn't, as long as when is the next meeting for decision on the contract award?
July 7th? July 7th.
That should not have an impact, at least not at that point, because I don't think invoicing for Grant Associates will be until the end of the month.
So as long as the grant money's not being jeopardized. It sounds like it's not.
It's been moved and seconded to table resolution 306.
We have to take it off. What do? We take it off? I mean, it's already on the table.
Motion.
Table.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Bertino,
Yes, to table.
Burns,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Ruffio, Shanker,
Yes.
Grizzly.
Yes.
Resolution 306 has been successfully tabled.
Okay, moving on.
Mr. Chair, if we could,
Yes.
before we move on too quickly, we're asking for outcomes and measurables. I think that's what Commissioner Days is talking about. I think that applies to 301 as well. So if we're getting the measurables and outcomes for 306, I'd like to have them for 301 as well.
There are no
Very good.
outcomes for 301. Those are new contracts.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, moving on.
year of this contract for these people?
Year to year. I don't know
understand
whether
that.
it's a renewal. Normally, it's like Fran has said, it's the contracts for a year with the option to renew another 2.
I understand how they work. I'm asking, what year are we in?
This is the
Second,
first one.
third?
No, 306.
306.
306, I believe it's the second.
It is a second renewal of, the first contract term was a 2-year term. Then there was a 1-year renewal, and this is the second 1-year renewal on a 4-year contract. 4-year
Yes.
proposal, 4-year
So-
contract.
Year.
Okay, we good? All right. Let's look at 2 change orders, 307 through 308. Chair will entertain a motion to combine and adopt these.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Bertino,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Ruffio,
Yes.
Shanker,
Yes.
Grizzly.
Yes. Okay, moving on. Was under miscellaneous, Chair will entertain a motion to adopt 309 through 316.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion on resolutions 309 through 316?
Mr. Chair, on 315, what employees and fiscal impacts result from limiting state health benefits program options?
Well, as it was explained, the budget meeting is to lower the premiums, and of course, it's means a higher out-of-pocket cost. Any other discussion? If not, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Bertino,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Ruffio,
Yes.
Shanker,
Yes.
Grizzly.
Yes. Okay. Madam Clerk, please read 317 by title.
Memorandum of Agreement with the Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office and the PBA Local 77 SOA, and authorizing the necessary steps to implement the terms and conditions of the MOA included in the successor contract covering the timeframe commencing January 1, 2026 through and including December 31st, 2028.
Apparently, you have to infer this on
Okay.
synopsis.
Chair will entertain a motion.
Move.
Second.
Move in second discussion. We did have a discussion on this in the Budget Committee, and I understand the average increase was a 3.67%, I recall. Mr. Ferguson, would you like to comment?
the resolution would approve the memorandum of agreement. This was the Superior Officers Association, which is comprised of lieutenants and captains who work at the prosecutor's office. It's the last of three matters. The other two groups, the detective rank and file and the sergeant groups, those were settled at the mediation phase of interest arbitration. This group did not settle at mediation, and a full-blown hearing was held, and the arbitrator entered his decision on May 26th. And as a result of that, the bottom line is the big item in this was the retention of the two-tiered salary structure, which was first adopted two prior contracts ago. The two-tiered structure has been in existence for the last 10 years. The union was seeking to eliminate the two tiers, and based on the testimony and the evidence presented, the arbitrator ruled that the union had not overcome the presumption that the status quo should prevail, and therefore he affirmed the two-tiered structure. The overall savings, the union's proposal would have been, when you combine the difference between what lieutenants would get under a two-tiered structure and what captains would get, the total is a difference of the SOA proposal would have been about $30,000 more than the two county proposals. So it has the efficacy of saving money, or potentially saving money for the county going forward. And it's a good result for the county. We ask the board to approve the resolution and allow this the contract language changes to be made. And, then that resolves all of the issues regarding the Detective Bureau out at the Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office.
Mr. Ferguson, Mr. Chair, through you to Mr. Ferguson. So the agreement is within budget projections?
Yes.
Very good.
Thank
And any other discussion on 317? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Bertino,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Days,
Abstain.
Kern,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Ruffio,
Abstain.
Schenker,
Yes.
Grizzly.
Yes. We have two Chapter 159s. Chair will entertain a motion to combine and adopt 318 through 319.
Second.
Been moved and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Bertino,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Ruffio,
Yes.
Schenker,
Yes.
Grizzly.
Yes. We have two appointments. Chair will entertain a motion to combine and adopt number 320 and 321.
Second.
Been moved and second. Any discussion on the appointments? Except thank you very much for your service. It's appreciated. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Bertino,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Ruffio,
Yes.
Schenker,
Yes.
Grizzly.
Yes. Okay, moving on. Written communications and petitions. Want to have anything like to share? I got one letter here from the Office of the Mayor of Port Republic. And it's basically thanking us for our assistance to the county roads before our Jersey Genesis Triathlon that was held on May 30th. And Mayor Monica Kyberson goes on to say that the port never looked any better, and we really appreciate your employees' efforts for the work they've done. Thank you. That was nice.
That was very nice. Thank you to administration and our staffing. Job well done.
Absolutely. Anyone else have any items under written communications? Yes. It's anonymous now. No. Any special committees would like to give a report? Only committee reports. Okay, move on. Unfinished business, new business? If not,
For unfinished business, there is
okay,
Education and Schools Committee. We did discuss a few times a draft of a memo that we have not completed. At the committee met and there was some disagreement about the memo itself. So we did not pass for the through subcommittee support to go to ACCC. So what my plan is at this point is to send it to the commissioners for review, and so that we can have discussion on what we would like to do. I know that Commissioner Burns, and she's here, so I won't speak for her. There was a portion of it that the letter is hoping to, for the monies that we give to the college, hoping for this commissioner board to have some very limited oversight on how that money's being used, how it's being spent, what it's going towards. I know we've made some comments about in the past going towards enrollment, and administration has obliged us, and they realized that there's concerns with enrollment at the college and things of that nature. But this would just be this would encourage a meeting. The purpose of the memo was to encourage a meeting, a quarterly meeting with at least the subcommittee of education schools, if not the entire board, to let us know how ACCC is faring throughout the process, and in terms of their budget and their goals, and how maybe we could, help them as well and moving forward to strategically help them move forward with their goals. Now, I know Commissioner Kern, again, I'll let her speak for herself. She was in favor of the meetings, correct, but not so much the memo.
Right. I was not in favor of giving them, basically, as I looked at it, like a report card to fill out. I felt that it would benefit us more, especially since we have a new president out there, to have a one-on-one conversation as we move through and possibly do it quarterly, but not in that aspect. And It wasn't just me. So.
Right. It was, well, I didn't want to speak for Commissioner Days because he's not here.
Correct.
But
that's the committee. It did not get out of committee.
It did not come out of committee. So my plan is to share again the memo with the full board, so the full board can read the memo and we can possibly have some discussion over that. But in terms of meeting with the president, that is something that has been arranged, and we will be sitting down with the new president to discuss. So I just want to make sure that before that meeting happens, that we're on the same page on what that discussion is going to entail.
okay, anything else under new business? Okay, and the chair will open the meeting to the public for comment. Can I have a motion, please?
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. The meeting is now open to the public for any item. Yes, sir. Please come up to the podium and give your name and where you live, please.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Cornelius McCoy Boone by birth. I'm known around the world as Goldie Boone. I am an ex-offender. I was kidnapped in 1976. Was given a life sentence. They said I would never, ever hit the streets again. As we speak today, God allowed me to be released November the 4th, Election Day of 2020. I've been in these streets since then. Why? At 8 years old, I was indoctrinated into the Black Panther Party. I was indoctrinated by selling the newspapers in Los Angeles, California, where I was born in a house. Subsequently, since then, I'm just giving you the background based upon the fact that I have issues with this county. One of the issues is that I have a LLC nonprofit, which the secretary in Cumberland County authorized it in her own writing with her seal and her stamp. I did work in Cumberland County. I was working along with the prosecutor. Her program was teaching the children the truth about home life as opposed to street life. Subsequently, since then, I came down here to Atlantic City in 2021. There were so many wayward people, you call them homeless people, blocking the traffic, just laying here, there, and everywhere. I took it on my own initiative, took them to eat at the restaurants with no money. I went to the proprietor. I said, look, these people are going to prevent you from getting customers. Feed them. They're hungry. They was eating out the garbage can. Subsequently, since then, they have been removed on their own as well as along with the system of Atlantic City. I came to Pleasantville. I did a ministry with several ministers on the corner of, what's the name of that main street where the bus turned at? Washington and,
Main Street, isn't it?
Main and
Main
on that
and-
corner right there,
I don't know what the corner.
where the
cross street.
pavilion is right there.
Mhm.
I took the people out of there. I went with ASWA, which is an organization that's been in existence before I was even born, down the street. I took them to City Hall. I took them to various agencies that's in place to help people. I even took some people to Ideal so that they could get a job that was underage. There was a lot of young people. The people I call wayward were people that had jobs. During the COVID-19, they lost their job. And they've been confused and mind-boggled ever since. So by giving them the doctrines of God, a lot of them changed their lives and turned themselves over to God that day. So I took them with me to Ideal when it was on Main Street. They couldn't get no help. I took some other people of minority that was of different nationality to them. They helped them, but they selected in who they helped. That's neither here nor there. My purpose here today is that I need your help to help me to continue to help people. My motto is people helping people to help themselves. In prison, I couldn't read or write. The warden at the prison at that time in 1976 told me to get an education. I acquired it. Upon getting the education, I set up classes in schools to teach other people that was too ashamed to say they couldn't read and they couldn't write. And I helped them. Subsequently, they sent me to Rahway. In Rahway, I set up a program named Scared Straight, Juvenile Awareness Program. I see some faces in here that have been there. They've seen it. I wrote it up after I learned how to read and write. I graduated from Mercer County College with an AA degree in Community Service Social Science. I also have a certificate of paralegalism from Department of Correction, as well as Mercer County Community Scholar. I was the highest in my class. They said I cheated. They put me in the middle of the floor, made me take everything off and searched me. They gave me the test, I missed a half a question. The other test, I missed one question. Based upon the fact that I did court line. Some of you are familiar with court line. I represented individuals that was given charges in there for violating the rules and regulations. Everything that I've done is helping people to help themselves. Now I have an organization here. I live in 158 Manor Drive, and it's on the borderline of Absecon and Pleasantville. I live in Pleasantville. Before you cross that red light, you're in Absecon. Now what it is that I need your help in helping me to continue to help people. I've been doing it in the streets. I don't have no office. I got a phone number. I got a place, and I'm staying with another woman that put me in, and I take my Social Security check and I give it all to her for my rent, because I can't pay the whole $1,100 that she wants for half of her rent for housing me in her establishment. I've been in the streets while on parole. I'm still on parole right to today. I've sent to different agencies to get my paperwork. Department of Correction for number one. They have about 10 boxes like this full of the achievements and compliments that I've gotten in the 44 years I was in prison. On the day that they apprehended me, the assailant was 6'4", black hair, black eyes, black complexion. I was only 6 feet, 100 20 to 40 pounds when they locked me up. How can I go through the system for a murder trial? They had the assailant and they gave it to me because they knew I was affiliated or associated with the Black Panther. I wasn't no member at that time. I was still in my traveling days. And what happened was that my trial was a half a day. Another half a day, they brought me back, found me guilty, and sent me to Yardville, which was reception. From Yardville, I stayed there 60 days. They shipped me to Trent State Prison. You tell me how can that be possible? I can't show it to you now, but I got auburn hair, naturally born. I got hazel eyes, and my complexion is light bright. Now, I know you want to shut me down, but
No, I'm not gonna shut you
I
down. I
need-
just like you to get to the, what
I
are
need,
you,
I
what are you
need
asking?
your help.
What are you
And
asking?
And I have information that could help you to be on the right track that you own. You're on the right track. You too, Mr. Days, in regards to what you said about them other organizations that's not doing. I know every one of them that's not doing what they're supposed to do. I went to them and tried to get help as an ex-offender. They got a program in their office to help ex-offenders. They're not doing it. I took 10 guys, 16 women to them that came from prison that couldn't get no help for various organizations in this city as well as Atlantic City. And it's impossible for these people to get off the streets when they won't help them when I take them there in need of help. I got one lady in Stanley Homes, and I don't know this out your area, in Stanley Homes apartment complex. I had to go to Washington, D.C. with this gentleman right here and 2 other men, only 4 men. The rest of them were 25 women, 15 children. We went to the Congressional Building in Washington, D.C. I used to serve them prior to being kidnapped by the system and put in there based upon my affiliation. Congress, Jeffrey Van Drew, his office came to Atlantic City, saw the conditions. They had no water, no heat. They had holes in the roof. Their windows, they can't shut them. Their doors, they couldn't lock. Children, elderly women was in that type of environment, and nobody was helping them in Atlantic City. They were doing everything they could for everybody else. Atlantic City, Stanley Homes is the oldest project in this county.
We're
I
well
was-
aware of that.
So
yes.
now what it is that I've been doing this by myself, by the grace of God. I need anybody help in here that would help me to help those that need help. My organization is Strengthening Family Ties, Balancing the Scales of Justice. The sheriff, I went to the county jail. 20 guys called me, said they needed my legal assistant that was in prison with me. I tried to get visit there. They wouldn't give it to me. I even called up Sheriff Stowe and the other sheriff. I can't remember his name, but I got it in black and white. They were supposed to give me an audience. They never gave me an audience as a legal representative in order to help them people to help themselves to do and change their lifestyle and their ways of life. With that note, I just wanted to add that out because I'm tired of working by myself, only me and God.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Would anyone else like to speak?
Thank you.
Steve Young, President of National Action Network, South Jersey chapter. And I'm here once again for the last few years trying to get into a public facility. I sent a letter out on June the 8th. I don't know that you all get it because it was addressed to every one of you commissioners. And this regarding the Atlantic County Commissioners meeting that you had in January the 20th, 2026, and again in April of 22nd, and concerning the complaints in Atlantic County Justice Facility and the visitation. And once again, our request has been on dying ears. We had a meeting with Mr. Federico at the county jail, and he was with Mr. Warden Kelly Captain Stowe, Captain Robinson, Captain Bennett, Sergeant Matlock, and some National Action Network representatives. At the conclusion of the meeting, we again requested a tour of the building. Mr. Federico himself stated, nothing has changed since our last visit in 2019 before COVID. However, several things have changed, such as COVID, construction, repairs, staffing. So again, we want to resolve these issues, and it's about transparency. Our taxpayers' money, we have a right to know how human beings are being treated. So again, we asking for a tour. We believe this is a public facility and not a private-run ICE detention jail, such as Delaney Hall in Newark, New Jersey. Therefore, we should be allowed to visit a public facility paid for with public funding. The difference, Delaney Hall, a private-run ICE Immigration and Customs Enforcement Detention Center in Newark, New Jersey, has been the site of intense rioting, sometimes violent crashes between protesters and law enforcement. The unrest has sparked by hunger and labor strike launched by detainees inside the 1,000-bed facility over alleged inhumane conditions, including spoiled food, medical neglect, and physical abuse. We hear the same thing in a public facility right down the street. Do we have to protest like they're doing at Delaney Hall? I think not. That's what you're for. That's about accountability. You know who's in charge. Who's the turnkey so residents can actually visit a place that we're paying for? Where majority of the detainees are just being held until they go to court, and the court is backed up because of the bail reform. So some of these conditions are unbearable. And we just want to go in there and see for ourselves how we can work together to improve our community. Because as people come out, it affects our communities. Everybody in Atlantic County is being affected by somebody in the county jail because of the way the conditions are there, male and female. We know that for a fact. So the question is Atlantic County Justice Facility private run by ICE or a public facility ran by Atlantic County government? What do the Atlantic County Justice Facility have to hide from the public and taxpayers? So again, we're asking, who's in charge to let us visit the place? And we want you all to go with us so you can see for ourselves and come up with solutions to, if it's about funding and resources, let's try to find it together. But we got to justify that it actually exists. We don't want to just see letters and hear from people crying and their loved ones and their mothers and the grandmothers crying about the conditions at the jail. It's been too long. So we ask you again, before I leave here right now, can we find out who's in charge? Is it up to one person to allow us to go into the facility? Or is this the commissioner board? Can we get an answer to that? Because we got to know who's accountable in order to know where to go from here. So who's in charge of the jail? Who can let us in? Simple question. As a taxpayer, as a resident, as a concerned person about human lives, can we get an answer?
Thank you for your comment. I'll ask administration. I'm sure they'd like to respond to your accusations.
So
are you finished?
So do I have to write a letter to the administration? I mean, you deal with thousands and millions of dollars in contracts dealing with the jail. You just did that today.
Mm-hmm.
You have a certain responsibility and accountability of elected officials.
And we are well aware of that.
So I'm just saying to your part right now, can we get an answer to visiting?
Yeah. If you're concluded, I'll have administration address it. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioners. I've had this job for 8 years. Mr. Young has been to the jail at least 3 or 4 times. I have never told him, no, you can't come and talk to us. We just had a meeting 6 weeks ago. But I am not going to allow him to tour the jail. It's a jail. It disrupts the jail. And there's nothing he's going to see. He's been there twice already. He's had tours twice. It hasn't changed. And it's not appropriate to have the public come in and walk through a jail. So that's my feeling. I mean,
There is a public safety issue. He's the public safety director.
yeah, it is a public safety issue because, people are walking around. Again, we let him do it twice, but we're not doing it again. We let him walk around, looking at everybody. I mean, these people are not on display. I'm not gonna talk to you, no. So I am not gonna allow him to tour the jail. If he wants a meeting, he can come to the meeting. We had about an hour and a half meeting with him. He took all kinds of notes. We answered all his questions, but he wants a tour, and I'm not gonna do it.
All right, thank you. All right. Anyone else like to speak before we close?
More time, Chairman. Public safety issue. He's the public safety director.
Correct.
We have to rely on his experience and his expertise on this.
All right. Chair will entertain a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
Moving second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. The public portion is closed. We're at the good of the order. Does anyone have any items for the good of the order?
Chairman Risley, I have one.
Yes.
Just to announce, we have the second public hearing for the Meadowview auction
Yeah.
on Wednesday, June 24th at ACIT at 4 o'clock.
Very good,
That's it. Thank you.
very good. All right. Well, there be no further comments and a motion to adjourn is in order. So,
Second.
second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. This meeting's adjourned.